Creativity and community are absolutely vital in challenging times. Welcome to Syncreate, a show where we explore the intersections between creativity, psychology, and spirituality. We believe everyone has the capacity to create. Our goal is to demystify the process and expand the boundaries of what it means to be creative. We talk with visionaries and change makers and everyday creatives working in a wide range of fields and media, from the arts to science, technology, and business. We aim to illuminate the creative process from imagination to innovation and everything in between. I'm Melinda Rothaus, and I help individuals and organizations bring their dreams and visions to life.
I'm Charlotte Gullick, and I'm a writer, educator, and writing coach. We are the co-authors of a book on the creative process, also called Syncreate. At Syncreate, we're here to support your creative endeavors. If you have an idea for a project or a new venture, and you're not sure how to get it off the ground, find us at syncreate.org. Our book, now available in both print and audiobook format, walks you through the stages of the creative process so you can take action on your creative goals. We offer resources, creative process tools, and coaching to help you bring your work to the world, including our monthly creativity coaching group. We'd be delighted for you to join us. We'd also love to hear your feedback on the show. Please drop us a line at info@syncreate.org. We're looking for feedback on how we can improve the show, what's resonating for you, and what future topics you'd like us to cover.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Syncreate podcast and our Creative Spark series. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the joy in creative collaboration. And I just want to kick off this episode with a little shout out to my stepmother, Shirley, who recently I went to visit my dad and stepmom, and they presented me with a little gift, which is this necklace, which you might be able to see, which is this Syncreate logo. And I was so shocked. I was so surprised. I didn't expect it. Didn't see that coming. It was such a thoughtful gift, and I think such a celebration of what we're doing. You know, they have a copy of the book, so it has the logo on it. And she had a friend who's a silversmith, and she asked her if she could make a necklace with the logo. So just wanted to wear that in this Creative Sparks series and celebration. So thank you, Shirley.
What a cool,
Such a
thoughtful
sweet.
gift.
Yeah, so sweet. Yeah, love it. So I think that goes along with our theme for today. So we talk often in this show about collaboration and kind of the synergy of collaboration, which we have experienced with each other and, among many of our different endeavors over the years. And, there's so many ways that creative collaboration could take place. I have a couple of conference presentations coming up where I'm collaborating with one or more folks, including my Saybrook colleague, Robert Cleve, as well as two of my musical collaborators, Randy Langford, who I've had on the show, and Elisa Carr, who I'm going to be having on the show. So stay tuned for that. And, I just find, and we've talked about this before, that there's a joy and a fun and can be like a levity when we collaborate versus when we're trying to do something completely on our own, right? And it's kind of a myth that we do anything completely on our own anyway, but some of our creative endeavors like writing perhaps can be more solitary at times. And then another fun collaboration I have coming up, going to be in Ireland this summer and going to be shooting a music video for one of our songs. I didn't tell you that?
No.
Yeah, the duet with George, Out of the Blue. We're gonna make a video for it on location in Ireland, where I was originally inspired with the lyrics for the song. And then my other friend Jiraj from Iceland is gonna come down and help us film it. So that's a fun collaboration. And I was thinking about like all these things I have coming up, and there's just like this incredible satisfaction that comes from having an idea and dreaming it up and then like making it happen. It's like magic, literally, right? Like, oh, I was in this place and I had this inspiration to write a song about it. And then I ended up performing and recording it with someone else. And then we're going to go back to Ireland to make a video of it. And it's just like, it's the gift that keeps on giving,
Oh,
and so
cool.
many like fun adventures in the process. So, how's
Well,
that show up for you?
I'm flabbergasted by this video in Ireland.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be so fun. Stay tuned.
Well, it's making me think about, I mean, in addition to our collaboration, which has been super fruitful and awesome, and keeps unfolding, is with a colleague and I. I've been writing a paper about the summer school program, and we've had to pivot quite a bit, about what we've been writing, and so, you get a little disheartened, and I've been at conferences where people are talking about the difficulty of what it means to erase their own work,
Hmm.
right now, and so we were a little discouraged, and then we got a proposal accepted, so we'll
Oh,
be
good.
presenting at a conference in New York City in May about this program on, racial justice and educate and higher ed, um, and I think part of the joy of it is when like you're talking about the synergy, like, who knew when you got that idea that you would end up like, it's so cool, and then there's that other part of it is, like, it helps when expectations aren't met, that you have someone to commiserate with and someone to regroup with and, like, so for me, it's like it dissipates the disappointment.
Mhm.
Um, no, you're not in it alone.
Yeah.
And then we're in a good position because we got this acceptance, but we were feeling pretty discouraged. I mean, and we have spent hours writing this paper that's like 40 pages long, and, um, we can't the it people are publishing different things right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think part of that the joy of collaboration and then the other half of that is, like, the, being able to commune, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, and to celebrate with both the joys and commiserate
Mhm.
with the setbacks or the challenges. Yeah. Yeah. So important. So, collaboration can look a lot of different ways. It can be formal or informal. It could be with your family, cooking a meal together, or, you know, I feel like we all have to find ways to collaborate with the people around us, just to get through
Absolutely.
life, right?
Well, and I don't know if I talked about this on the show before, but I went to a yoga class in the last couple of months, and though it was a substitute teacher, and she was just naming our internal organs, and she's like, "We normally don't hear about them unless it's with pathology. So let's just name, the kidneys, the liver, the pancreas," and she's like, "It's our first community." And I just was really like, "Oh, I'm never alone. I got my pancreas with me," or whatever. Like this idea that we're in collaboration with our own bodies as well.
I know
Um,
the human body is this incredible collaboration, and it's something that, for the most part, the activity of our internal organs is not, doesn't rise to the level of consciousness
Mhm.
unless we're in pain or something, right? So it's just like everything's just humming along, and all the organs that are required just to like digest. It's amazing.
It is, and I that makes me think about the it's kind of a mindset that looks at encourages to think about the ways that the universe is collaborating with us rather
Hmm.
than conspiring against.
Yes.
And a lot of it has to do with mindset, and I mean it's complicated because there are a lot of factors that influence those things. But the you know standing in the sun could be seen as a collaboration between you and the I was going to call it the far fetched star. That doesn't make
The
sense.
far-fetched star, I love that. I think that's, like, we gotta use that. Is that a
Okay.
song? Is it the title of a piece? I don't know.
Oh, no.
The far-fetched star. Yeah, and I mean, not not to be cliche, but sometimes I'm stopped in my tracks just thinking about how amazing it is that we're here at all,
Mhm,
that we exist in the first
mhm.
place in this vast universe, and that we somehow found ourselves alive on a planet that supports life. And we've come this far wherever we are in our lives, like it's pretty incredible odds.
It is.
But going back to the digestive organs, it made me think about the book Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, in which she goes to the ashram in India and she's meditating, and the instruction from the teacher while they're meditating is smile in your liver. And sometimes I think about that when I'm meditating, and it's just like, happy liver. I don't know, it just
Mhm.
changes everything. It just changes the
That's
whole
good.
vibe. Yeah. So smile
And
in
we
your
got
liver.
dahlia bulbs today.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite flowers, now they will be planted with a sense of collaboration with the earth.
Yes, absolutely. And I see you have some lovely flowers behind you. It's very nice.
These are actually, paper flowers
They're
made
paper?
by
I
yeah,
never would have known. Wow.
Brandy McWhorter, Marcus McWhorter's partner, who Marcus has been on the show. This
Yes.
is one of her things that she does is make these paper
That's
flowers,
so cool.
and they take
Beautiful.
hours. And they made the move across from, Texas to New York, so
Yeah, that's incredible.
yeah.
Wow, I
So,
love that.
cool.
Yeah.
Uh, so, like,
Yeah.
pro
Great. So, our pro tip for today is to find a person or multiple people, a group, to collaborate with on some kind of community project. That could be within your household, within your family. Maybe you have a group of creative collaborators. Maybe it's a community garden. But just something that you can get together and work with some people on to just have fun or perhaps be of benefit to your local community.
um, my sister is the co-president of the local food co-op
Hmm.
annual meeting, and I went, and the guest speaker she is, um, helping people form a power collaborative to compete with the local energy company,
Wow.
and it's so cool.
Like, so
So, like,
people like getting solar panels and or what,
It's
how does that work?
actually it's a not-for-profit model, so that it would bring prices way down, and it's
Mhm.
been done in rural communities in the United States, and it's been really successful, and, just thinking about, like, ways that people can collaborate is I met that woman, and now I'm signed up, and now I'm gonna write local people and, I because I think going local is very helpful too,
Yes.
so
Yes.
there's so many ways to collaborate.
So many ways. Yeah. Like if you see a need and no one else is filling it, start it.
Do it.
Do it. Find and connect with us on YouTube and social media under Syncreate. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and leave us a review. And again, we'd love to hear from you. So if you have feedback on any of our episodes, you've tried out the pro tips, you have thoughts on potential guests or topics, please drop us a line.
We're recording today at Record ATX Studios in Austin with Charlotte, me joining us from the Hudson Valley. The podcast is produced in collaboration with Mike Osborne at 14th Street Studios. Thanks so much for being with us, and see you next time.